What's up, savages? And welcome to the Random Coin Mining Show, where we mine a different GPU mineable coin every weeknight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is Monday, March 11th, 2019. Let's go ahead and get after it. Before we get started, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the market. This is a Coin 360. Lots of red, but it's not anything too crazy. It was, it's still kind of, I don't know. I kind of view this as going sideways like it has been recently. So not too much news over there. Let's go ahead and look at COINPAPRIKA. I'm going to ditch CoinMarketCap, I think, for this. I like this a little bit better. What do we got for 24-hour gainers? We got Ravane, lots of tokens and things like that. Digibytes up there, SIA coins up there, only 1%, but not crazy gainers like we had seen last week with what was it? It was ABBC, and then there was what was the other one that was pumping really hard? Forgot now. It's storming here too, by the way, so if you hear a lot of background noise, it might be the rain. And as far as losers, oh, that was the one that was pumping. That was the one that was pumping so hard last week. Engine Coin, that's right. So Raven Coin's getting hammered a little bit. Digitex futures getting hammered a little bit. Yeah, got some pullbacks from all the big gainers from last week for sure. You can see the 7-day. This is one of the things I like about COINPAPRIKA. Just being able to see more information all up front. So kind of neat. So if you like crypto mining video content like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell. Good grief, that rain is crazy out there. So you don't miss anything. And if you like random crypto thoughts and info, shit posts and updates and things like that, you should follow me on Twitter as well. I'm actually doing pretty good with increasing the number of followers over here, but I still haven't caught up to BrandonCoin yet, you know. So he started way after me and he just blew right by me, but that's okay, not a big deal. Be sure to hit the appropriate interaction button, like or dislike, and share the channel info with your friends to help spread the word and keep the channel going. It does help a lot in many ways that a lot of folks don't understand, but it does help. So like, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. Let me show you what I am actually mining right now. I'm still mining Raven. I know the difficulty's way up there and all of that. I know I probably should change into something else. Just kind of one of those things where I didn't want to really mess with it because it was doing pretty well. So, and then I'm also mining CCX on the AMD rig. Raven is the NVIDIA rig. And then on the co-owned rigs, I'm mining Monero actually. So I did change these over to Monero on, I think it was Saturday that they went to, that they forked off ASICs and all that stuff. So I have been mining them. So that is what I am currently mining. I'm not really interacting with the chat just yet, guys, because I got to get this thing going. So in this show, we have a list of over 100 GPU mineable coins. Right now, we're at like 161 or 160, something like that. And we run that through an online randomizer that chooses one for us. And whatever we land on, we try to mine successfully within 30 minutes so we can switch over to the BrandonCoin daily mining live stream that starts on his channel at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the last episode, or the last show, we actually did it by request, and we mined Ethereum Classic, but we didn't just mine it. Man, we went a little bit deep. We went, not a real deep dive, but just skimming the surface of what happened with Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. And one thing I kind of forgot to mention is that if you think about what happened with Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, Ethereum itself is the fork because Ethereum Classic still has the original Ethereum blockchain. So so sometimes people look at that and think about that. In reality, that's probably true, right? So because they have all the previous transactions and all that stuff. So the Ethereum that we know today isn't actually the beginning, the first Ethereum, I guess you could say. So thanks to everyone that hung out for that long live stream. That was pretty incredible. So since we're not wasting, so that we aren't wasting time with unmineable coins, I always pre-record the random pick of the day. So let's take a look at that video real quick so that we can see what we're working with tonight. You should be able to see, well, maybe not, you won't be able to see how many we have total, but I think it's like 160, 161. So tonight it looks like we are mining Triton. And the reason that I pre-recorded is because with so many different options, there's over 100, we would oftentimes land on one that we weren't going to be able to mine for whatever reason. And I just don't want to go through 20 minutes of data collection only to find out that it's past its proof of work phase or there's no pool or whatever, so that's why I do that. And tonight we'll be mining Triton, which is a Cryptonite Lite algo coin based on Monero. And that project started on 14 February. This is just a little bit about the project before we get started. It started on 14 February of 2018 and is developing, what they're trying to do is developing an innovative donation applications for streaming and esports. Their current products are Neptune extensions for Chrome and Opera, and it looks like the extensions allow you to mine XTRI, which is what their ticker is, with your CPU while you're streaming or watching streaming. So like if someone's streaming on YouTube or Twitch or something like that, and you have that plugin or that extension in that browser, then it can actually mine, and that you can either determine that you can either decide to send that mining to the streamer as a tip, or you can keep it for yourself. So that's basically what they were looking at doing. Now it seems like they've kind of changed their roadmap a little bit as time has gone on. Right now, I think the biggest thing that they've got going on is they have developed an SAO stable coin. I don't remember what SAO. I never saw what SAO stands for. Stable coin, and that wasn't, like I said, that wasn't in the original roadmap from what I could tell. But SAO is a decentralized stablecoin based on the mint and burn protocol called the SAO dollar. It probably is pronounced like SAO or something, I don't know. And that's minted from Triton, the XTRI, and it's pegged to the US dollar only. So it's not one of those multi fiat currency pegged stablecoins. It's only pegged to USD. Now XTRI has a block time of 180 seconds, a max supply of 84 million, and it uses the Cryptonite Lite version 7 algorithm. They also have service nodes to manage the minting and stablecoin processes, as well as securing the network. This is just a quick overview of the coins, so we have an idea about what we're working with tonight. And let's see. And again, I have to reiterate, because sometimes people bring this up, this is random, guys. This is not a shill. I'm not being compensated in any way by these projects. I'm just a savage dude doing savage mining, and whatever we land on, that's what we mine, right? It's all random. So let's go ahead and get started with the data collection. I'm going to go ahead and check the chat real quick to see how many folks we got in here, see what's going on. What's up, Zara420? See here, Thomas Parker, what's going on? Harrison, got some, looks like we got some new folks in here, or at least folks that are now talking. What's up, Yashnik? Sonya near. BrandonCoin is in here, oh my gosh. All right, glad you're doing better, man. That's good to hear. We missed you for sure. Everybody was always, you know, well, is Brandon live tonight? You know, after this show, and they're like, and then Friday kind of threw us for, was it Friday or Thursday? Thursday threw us for a loop because you had posted, I don't know if it was a premiere or what, but you had posted a reminder or saying that you're going to be live, and then we went to your channel and it said that you're still sick, but the video was there. It was weird, you know. I know you just updated the title or whatever, but yeah, so kind of threw us off a little bit there. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Finally hit 500. I'm at 505 now, I guess. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the data collection. So like I said, we're mining Triton. It's a XTRI, but you will see it some places as TRIT. It just depends. I think there was one of the pools that I looked at had it as TRIT, and but their actual symbol or their ticker is XTRI. They actually call it something else. It's not a ticker. It's I forget what they call it in the crypto world. I did get a donation address off of their BitCoinTalk thread, probably for a pool or something like that. So that way I didn't have to download the wallet and go through all that stuff that I don't want to keep doing on my machine, because I use this machine too. So I need to set up a virtual machine for doing stuff like that. But so let's see here. Oh yeah, and this is a good point too. The first one that I landed on for this show, or for today. Oh, okay. Harrison's one of the XTRI guys. That's awesome. Yeah, cool. All right. Thanks for that info, Harrison. Oh, Harrison is one of the developers. I remember seeing your name as I was looking through the white paper and such. Hopefully I'm talking about this right. Just correct me if I'm wrong. So anyway, let's see. The one that I landed on was COINGECKO, and they had already switched over to, or they had started. Originally, it looked like they were going to use X16R and be proof of work, but it looks like at some point they decided to just go straight proof of stake. So we wouldn't have found that out for 5 or 10, 15 minutes, something like that, and then that would have wasted some time. So just to point out the reason for pre-recording that randomization part. So we've got Triton is the name of the coin, and it is XTRI, and it's Cryptonite. I'm just going to go through the data collection here, guys. Cryptonite, I think it's still Crypton. You can correct me if I'm wrong here, Harrison. Cryptonite Lite version 7. Is that right still? And let's see here. So these grayed out values here aren't really necessary, but just for data collection and reference, it's really good to have just for reference, right? So we go ahead and go through that, and it also gives you a little bit of an idea about what's going on with the value and things like that. So let's head over to COINPAPRIKA. I'm not sure if they are on here or not. Nope. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to be on CoinMarketCap yet. I did find them on CoinGecko, I believe. Yep, there they are. They're number 1,330. And then from here we can hop over to their website and their BitCoinTalk thread, which are the two things that I like to go ahead and open up as well, just to show you, some things you should look at as you're collecting the data and things like that. So, all right, so let's go with, what's the value here? 174 sats. All right, let's go to, well, we've got their website up here. Yeah, and if you go to their website, right away it has the SAL. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but maybe Harrison can tell me. See, this was Nope. Website. And this just talks a little bit about their projects and things like that. Got a pretty decent website, lots of information on it. I didn't have any problem understanding what was going on, other than how they switched, you know, from, what was it, a Proteus, I think was their previous project, and then they kind of switch over into this stable coin, because the developers are super busy. They can only work on so much. All right, so let's see here. Let's go to what to mine. I don't think that they're on there. We'll give it a shot. Not likely. Although I didn't look. Yeah, okay. So maybe on COINCALK. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Looks like their logo has changed. Is this you guys? See, this is where you see that it's different, right? So it's not XTRI, it's TRT, and they haven't updated over here yet. So I'm sure that this is the right one. Looks like they updated their logo and things like that, so that they probably should get with Coin Calculator to get that updated. We run into that sometimes. All right, so let's grab this just for documentation. Head over to their Bitcoin Talk thread as well. I already brought that up. Again, this part right here is going to be a little bit dated, because they're not working. This is a future project, this Proteus right here, and they started working on that SAO stablecoin. So, you know, I guess all this other stuff is still accurate, and I don't know exactly what is actually available right now. Maybe you guys could tell us. I know that there's the plugin and the I don't know if it's a Twitch plugin or a YouTube plugin, or that wouldn't be a plugin, but a browser plugin for certain browsers. But what about, because it's like, it calls it a plugin sometimes and an extension sometimes. I guess it's the same thing. So I would assume. So as I was looking at this, that's what I kind of ran into. Let's see, I got to get out of here. And the Bitcoin Talk thread is pretty active. I mean, 16 pages, not too bad. But I would want to point out that there are some senior members in here. So I didn't really recognize any legendary or anything like that in there. Not that that matters a whole lot, but you always kind of want to look at that. Like, is this project, you know, garnering any attention from, you know, higher level OGs or whatever you want to call them, you know? So there's a senior member here. Some of this stuff I think you pay for, but yeah. So some interest, it looks like, so that's cool. And then I don't know where I got that address from, but it was definitely from a pool, if I remember right. So tonight we'll use since it's Cryptonite algo, we will use well, let me finish this data collection. I kind of got ahead of myself there. That's February 14th. Not 2019, 14 Feb 2018. Alright, so we need to get a pool and a port next. I think they had one that was consuming a lot of the hash power. I don't remember if it was, yeah, it was this semi-pool. It is in the USA though, it looks like, so we could probably, since Yashnik is in here, we'll go with the Canadian one. How's that? Just to spread the hash rate out a little bit. And see, even they've got TRIT as the name. All right, so that's the pool. What do we need for the port? Probably start it at 4442. I mean, I do have a rig. This one's got 12 GPUs. I probably should start here, but I'll start at 4442. And then for the miners, let's see, for AMD, let's use XMRig. Not like that, like that. And then, oh, actually it's XMRig AMD. I think it's normally written like this. And then we'll use XMRig NVIDIA. Alright, so that's pretty much all the information that you need to successfully mine a coin. Now we just have to decide what rig we're going to use. And in this case, I'm going to use the Scarif rig that has this hardware right here. I'll just leave it up there for a second so I can take a little drink here and let you see what the hardware is. Alright, now go back to documentation, and we're going to use, because this rig is already running HiveOS, we'll just use HiveOS. Sounds like a winner to me. Alright, so the first thing we'll do is we have to create a wallet. And I don't know if Triton is in here, is up inside of, you know, included, not included, but, you know, referenced inside of HiveOS yet. So we'll just start with the wallets page. We'll go add wallet. We'll type in XTRI, but you know what? Let's try TRI. Aha! There we go. So they need to update their stuff too, because that does look like the old logo. So we'll just do it like that. That way it's a little slicker looking instead of that, you know, just the blank logo in there. So we'll copy the donation address here. Always want to check it and make sure that there's no random spaces in there, although I grabbed it off of, yeah, I copied it from BitCoinTalk thread to the spreadsheet, and usually there is a space somewhere around in this area right here. This time there wasn't, so that's good. Alright, so we'll give it a name of, actually let's name it, yeah, we'll go XTRI just so that we know what the real name is, and then YouTube, and then create. So now we have our wallet. And now we are going to go to flight sheets. This is like your miner options in simple mining, right? It's kind of the same thing. Type in TRIT for the coin. The wallet we already made. The pool. Alright, so it's got Cryptonite in here because remember the coin selection was already in here, so whenever you see that in HiveOS, typically it's going to have at least one pool already put in there for you. So what we kind of want to do, we want to go over here and see what's going on with Cryptonite. Okay, so they got an invalid block height issue here. I think they might have discontinued XTRI maybe on their pool. So we are going to ignore that for now. And we're going to go forward with COD pool. So what we'll have to do is we will have to choose configure in miner, and then we're going to choose the miner. Now see, if you choose the pool that they have listed in HiveOS already, then what happens is it'll basically break down the miners that, I don't know if they're recommending it or if it's some type of auto selection. You can still click show all if you want to choose a different miner, but for the most part it'll be the miners that you should use, right? But in this case that can kind of give you a little bit of information if you need it, like, hey, what miner am I supposed to use right here, but we're going to choose configure a miner because it looks like Cryptonite.cc doesn't work anymore. And then we're going to choose XMRig AMD. And then we're going to set up miner config, and we're going to give it a variable of wallet because we have the wallet in there already, so we can just put the variable in here. For the pool, because we told it that we have to configure in the miner, then we have to put in the pool here, the actual pool and the port. For the password, probably use some default stuff here. Worker name as the, I don't know if this is going to work or not. We'll have to watch that. And then we probably don't have to override anything, but let's go ahead and at least specify the algo like that. I think that works, and even if you do that, I think either one will work. But let's do it like this first. And then if it doesn't work, we'll come back in here and check it out. All right, so apply changes. And we're going to give the flight sheet a name. Brandon, it looks like hopefully I'll finish right on time. So we'll go XTRI _ YouTube and then create flight sheet. So now we're going to assign that flight sheet that we just created to our rig, which they call them workers in HiveOS. I'm going to choose the little checkbox next to that rig. This is what the hardware looks like. I already showed you, but this is, a little bit different view here. It's 10 580s and 2 570s. All right, so then we're going to go to the rocket, which is your flight sheets, and then I like to click on the actual flight sheet that we just created to filter it down. Otherwise, you got to kind of scroll down through here. So I like to click on that and then hop right to it, click on it, and then let me get my cameras out of the way here for a second. So then click apply, and then now it's applying that to the rig, and I think I've got this is the right rig that you're looking at up there. So what I like to do also is throw it a reboot right after you assign the flight sheet. So we'll do that, and hopefully it'll be back up before 10 o'clock, and we'll be able to switch right over to BrandonCoin, and this will be like a perfect show, perfect timing and everything. I like it whenever it's like that. I'm trying to keep up with the chat, but there's quite a few people in here, so it's kind of hard, but I'm glad y'all are talking back and forth, so that's good. There goes the reboot, kicking off now. Where's Crypto Z at? Because I know he would be talking about my. There he is. I know he's talking about my high load average here. I wonder if it's because these are appearing offline now. I accidentally plugged in this rig's USB to this rig. I even have them numbered. I mean, I keep track of this stuff pretty well, right? So over here, I've got it all documented, but somehow I ended up plugging up the wrong USB to this rig, and that's why it thinks that there's supposed to be 12 instead of 6. And I haven't researched how to fix it, but I would imagine I just got to delete this guy and let it reinitialize, retalk, I would assume. Yeah, thanks for the congrats, everybody. Pretty cool. Alright, so it's still starting up. It's got a few, probably about 45 more seconds, so we might finish right at 10. As long as it's hashing. If we don't get an accepted share, then I got to keep going, right? Because that's the goal. And thanks for the Triton devs being in here and all. That's super cool. Glad you guys could show up. I like that kind of support. Okay, I'll look at that, CryptoZ. Thanks for that info. I haven't messed with it. I just did it like yesterday and I was like, I'm not even going to worry about it. Alright, so it looks like it's back up and running. Let's go in here and do remote and start the Hive shell so we can see what's going on, see if we're getting any accepted shares. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that way we can just jet over to BrandonCoin. Ah, look at that. All right. Woo! Accepted shares and everything. We are good to go. Now, we don't, for the Triton devs that are in here, we don't really worry about overclocks and stuff like that in this show. That's not really what it's about. We have gone like deep into some things whenever we have time. But for the most part, we're just like, hey, the goal is to get an accepted share and that's it. So, people can kind of see if they pause over here, they can see what my particular overclock settings are and stuff like that. So if they watch afterwards, they can review that and get some information, at least a starting point. So that is cool. We are up and running and mining accepted shares and all that stuff. So you guys, if you can, head over to BrandonCoin's page. Right there is his link. He is going to be live in a few minutes if he's not already. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome for checking this out. I will see you, well, actually, tomorrow night might be a little bit tricky because it's my son's birthday, and I'm going to have like a house full of 10-year-old boys. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that's going to work out. And then I've got something going on Friday night. So it might be a Wednesday and Thursday only, but I'll tweet about it tomorrow. I'll let you guys know. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, whenever that is. Stay savage.